The Palace Ground, 1974. The Mystic Palace. Soldiers patrol the ground as King Selassie I sit in quiet dignity under house arrest. In the twilight of his reign, Emperor Haile Selassie I, the Lion of Judah, finds himself betrayed by those who he once trusted. Among them, Mengistu Haile Mariam, a man whose ambition eclipses loyalty. Mengistu, the Derg, influenced by external forces, promise to power and empower and ideological support. Mengistu and the Derg. The old ways have failed us. Ethiopia need revolution, not monarchy. The emperor's time is over. Under the shadow of foreign influence, Mengistu became the architect of a coup that would end centuries of Solomonic rule. The emperor, confined to his palace, walked through the hall filled with memories of his reign. He paused before a church door, his face shine. The emperor to himself said, "Though they may have bind my body, my spirit remained free. Redemption lie beyond their reach." The Derg soldiers searched the palace frantically. The church door is ajar, but inside there is no trace of the emperor. The soldiers panic. He was here. Where could he have gone? In an act assured in mystery, Haile Selassie I vanished, leaving behind a legacy that no chain could contain. Mengistu sits alone, haunted by the weight of his action. He said to himself, "I have taken the throne, but at what cost? The lion roars, echoes still. Through his majesty's betrayal, he remains immortal in the heart of those who seek liberation and redemption. His disappearance only deepen the legend of the Lion of Judah. The betrayal and disappearance, Mengistu and King Selassie I. Key points to note about Mengistu. Mengistu Haile Mariam. Mengistu Haile Mariam The overthrow of the emperor in 1974 was primarily driven by internal factors such as widespread dissatisfaction with his regime due to economics challenges, famine, political unrest. However, external forces also play a role in shaping the environment that led to his overthrow. The military junta, as the Derg, which eventually took power, received ideological and material support from the Soviet Union, backed by the Derg Marxist-Leninist policies, and provided military aid which helped solidify their control over Ethiopia. Additionally, the Cold War dynamic influenced the situation as Ethiopia became strategic points of interest for both Eastern and Western Bloc. Mengistu Haile Mariam is a significant figure in the Ethiopian history, known for his role as a revolutionary leader and head of state during the transformative and turbulent period. Here is a brief and notable history of Mengistu. Mengistu was born May 21st, 1937 in the Kaffa province of Ethiopia. He received military training both in Ethiopia and abroad, including the United States, which spread his political and ideological views. His rise to power, Mengistu became a prominent member of the Derg, a military junta that overthrew the Emperor Haile Selassie I in 1974, ending centuries of Solomonic dynasty. By 1977, Mengistu had consolidated power, becoming the head of state. Mengistu's reign was marked by Marxism-Leninist policies, including land redistribution and nationalization of industries. However, his rule is also infamous for the Red Terror, a campaign of political reposition and violence against perceived enemies, leading to the death of thousands. Mengistu faced significant challenges, including famine, economic decline, and armed rebellion in regions like Eritrea and Tigray. The withdrawal of the Soviet support in the late 1980s further weakening his regime. In 1991, as rebel forces advanced on the capital Addis Ababa, Mengistu fled to Zimbabwe, where he has lived in exile ever since. He was later tried in absentia and found guilty of genocide and other crimes. Mengistu legacy is deeply controversial, within some viewing him as a revolutionary who sought to modernize Ethiopia, while others condemn his authorization, rule, and architect committed during his time in power. His atrocity committed during his time in power. Mengistu legacy is deeply controversial, with some viewing him as a revolutionary who sought to modernize Ethiopia, while others condemn his atrocitization, rule, and atrocity committed during his time in power.